So students, today I've lined up 3 programs for you all. We'll be finding out the number of zeros and ones in a stream of data. Okay, so we'll be calculating in the binary format how many ones are there and how many zeros are there for a 32-bit data. And the next program is not checking if the number is positive or negative. Okay, and the other one is checking if the number is odd or even. Okay, so 3 programs lined up for today. So before we get started, I want you to actually understand how this numbers are actually inside the system and how it is represented. Okay, so once you understand that, then it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay, so I hope all of you are able to see this numbers here, right? Is it visible? Yeah. Okay, fine. So we are looking at data stream, right? So let us take this for example. I have taken here 8F as example. Okay, so this section here, okay, just a moment. Yeah, okay, so this section here you can see, okay, it is 8F. Okay, so I'm just taking that as an example, and we have a special instruction called TST. Okay, so this TST is nothing but testing instruction. Okay, so it actually does a bitwise AND operation, but the result is not stored anywhere. Okay, so that's the specialty of this TST. Bitwise AND operation happens, and the zero, carry, and negative, overflow, so all the flags are affected. Okay, but then the result is not stored in any register, right? So utilizing this, okay, utilizing this feature of TST. Now let's say, for example, if I use TST R3,01, so which means the first bit is going to go high, okay, the logic high, and this is going to do an ANDing operation with R3. So let us say, for example, R3 is having this value here, okay, this value which is comprising of this 32-bit right from B0, okay, right from B0 to B31. Okay, so we are having this whole data. So assuming that we have all this information here, right from here to here. Okay, so a bitwise ANDing operation happens. So 1 into 1 is 1. Okay, then rest all goes low. So the zero flag, okay, if the result, if something is retained, then of course zero flag will not get set. Now in this case, the zero flag will not get set, which means it will not turn 1, but then it will remain 0 because I have 1 into 1 is 1, right? So similarly, I have the option of checking. Suppose I put 0x8 and then all zeros, right? So this bit will go high here, this bit will go high, and I'm going to check this MSB bit, which is B31, right? So in this fashion, I can actually check if the bit stream is having here, it is having zeros or is it having ones. We have learned that the MSB bit, whenever the MSB bit, or whenever we're dealing with negative numbers, all these remaining bits will go high, right? So using that feature, I will get to know if it's a positive or a negative number, right? Then using the last bit, okay, that is LSB B0, I will get to know if it is odd or even. See, because this is 1, right? If you remember 8421, so if this bit goes high, right? So using TST R3,01, I will get to know if it's odd or even. So now let us say I shift, okay, I shift 1, let us say I right shift, okay, logical right shift. So what happens, you can see that the values are shifting from one side to another. Okay, so this 0 comes here, okay, and this 1 comes here. Okay, so the value is actually shifting. And suppose I do another shift, you can see that it is shifted here. Another shift, you can see that it's here, right? So shifting actually happens in such a way that you are actually pushing the values to the extreme right. So depending on the right shift or the left shift, so accordingly this shifting operation happens. So any doubts here with this concept here, how the data is stored and how shifting operation happens? So I think all this is clear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we have considered logic 1 for ANDing operation, right? When we do ANDing operation, there isn't any change in the data. I mean, when we do ANDing operation on R3, does it reflect on R3 or not?
No, that's what the result is. It is not affecting anywhere. Only the flags are affected. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this will check.
Okay, only flags.
And only the flags will alter. It is not sending data to any R3. It is not sending data to any other register, to R0, R5, nothing. Okay, the flags are altered. So when I use this branching operations, that will actually check the flags. Okay, so through that I will get to know if I have to branch out, or if I have to branch to a positive number or a negative number, or to an odd number or to an even number, right? So we will see that in programs. I will explain that in programs as to how it is done. As of now, you should understand what is this TST instruction, how our data is saved, right? And how this shifting operation happens. So till this point, are we clear? Can I proceed? Yes, can I get some response?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Let us get back to our program now. Okay, and yeah, first we will look into positive and negative. Okay, since I already have it here. So yeah, so as usual, the initial part we are going to declare, okay, the area, code, read only, entry, export, start. Okay, all this labeling is done, and then I'm loading R0 with a value here. Okay, so I'm loading purposefully with a negative number, and I am doing a test, okay, TST operation with R0. And see the beauty of this number. Okay, so I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, 8 digits here. And as you all know, okay, 4 bits are needed for representing each number, right? So 4 into 8 is 32. So which means I am checking, okay, when I put this as 8, it means it is going to be 1 0 0 0 1. Only the B31 will be high and rest all will go 0. Understanding, right? Recall the diagram which I showed you all. Now B31 only will go high and rest all will go low. Now why are we doing this? As I told you, the bits, the extreme left bits, what is going to happen? It will be all high. So if it's high, then I will consider that to be a negative number. Remember the 2's complement, right? 1's complement, you take the inverse and then you add 1 2's complement, and then rest of the bits all goes high, right? The MSB bit. So the same concept we are actually exploring here with the help of TST instruction. Okay. Now branch if equal, if the number is positive, okay. So this is the label. So if it's equal, so which means it is checking if 0 flag is set. Okay, if 0 flag is set. So if 0 flag is set, then it is going to come here, number is positive, and we are going to shift 0 0. So we have a condition here. Okay, if the number is positive, I'm going to shift, or I'm going to move 0 to R3. If it is a negative number, then I will move FF to R3, right? So accordingly, I have written the code here, right? So you can see that number is positive, it branches out to this label here, and 0 0 is moved to R3 if it is positive. Let's say it's negative. Now in our case it's a negative number, right? So this is going to get executed. So if branch is equal, which means if zero flag is set, not equal, which means zero flag is not set, then it's going to come to negative. Okay, it's a negative number, and FF is going to be stored in R3, right? So ultimately we are looking at the testing operation. Okay, so in testing operation, if the number is negative, then the zero flag is 0, which means it is having some data. It is having some data. If it is all 0, okay, if the data is 0, then zero flag will go high. Okay, now since this is a negative number, what is going to happen? Let us look into this diagram again. Just a moment. Okay, so when I do a TST, only this bit is going to go high. Okay, and it is going to check with this B31. So even this will be high because it's a negative number. So 1 into 1 is 1. So which means zero flag will remain 0. It is not set because there is some data here, right? If in case it was 0 and 1 here, what is going to happen? It will give me a 0. So 0 flag will be set. So if it's a positive number, all these values will be 0. If it's a negative number, then all these values will go high. Understood, students? You're able to follow, right, what I'm trying to say? Yes, any doubts, please feel free to ask. Is it clear?
Sir, if a number is negative, the MSB bit becomes positive. I mean, the MSB bit goes logic
all
high,
the bits,
right?
yeah, all the bits will go high. Yeah, correct.
All the bits or only MSB bits? Huh?
From MSB onwards. Okay, now let us say this number here. Okay, so I have 8F. So all these bits, instead of 0, it will be a 1. All this will be high. So I want to just check the MSB bit here. So this is my LSB B0, and this is my MSB, most significant bit. So I will just check this. So if this is high, then obviously I will understand that it is a negative number. So here I'm seeing a 0, it means it's a positive number, right? Is that clear? These are all concepts in digital electronics, right? Conversions from one form to another form, and how numbers are represented in its positive form and negative form, right? So now you should understand that if this MSB bit goes high, okay, if this bit is high, then it's a negative number, right? Can we get back to the program? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the conditions here, right? So we will right away get into the execution, and then I'll come back to the next program. Fine, we have 0 errors. Translating is done. Now I'm building. Fine. 0 errors and 0 warnings is good. Now let's get into debug mode. Say okay. Fine. Right. So minus 11. Okay, so that is going to be loaded to R0 here. Okay, so you can actually check this minus 11. You can do a 2's complement, and you can actually check. So you are going to get this F and 5. Okay, now next is the test operation. Now this is where I was telling, you can see all this negative, 0, carry, okay, overflow, all these flags will be altered. So test is actually, playing with or altering the values of these flags. Okay, so you have an XPSR, okay, program status register. So here, if you just click on the plus, okay, you will find that all these are expanded and here the values are changed, right? So now we are looking at minus, right? So test R naught, and as I mentioned, we are checking with 8 and then all zeros. Now you can see that the negative flag is enabled, okay, so which means it is telling that it's a negative number, right? So it will not be here, it is not going to go to num is positive, but then it will jump to num is negative, right? So you can see that the zero flag is still, z is equal to 0, okay, because MSB bit has gone high and this one is also high, right? So high into high is high, isn't it? Okay, so immediately it will jump here and it will try to move as per my condition FF to R3. So right now you can see R3 is 0 and immediately FF is moved to R3, showing that the number is negative. Okay, so you can try out with the other numbers as well. Okay, and let me just probably change it to positive and show you as to what is going to happen. Okay, so 11 moves to R naught. Okay, you can see here B. Okay, 10 is A and 11 is B, isn't it? So it's actually moving in hex form. Then yeah, we will open up this as well, right? So it is going to check if it's equal. Okay, is it equal? If the zero flag going high, yes, the zero flag is going high. Okay, why is it going high? Because the MSB bit is 0 and 1 into 0 is 0, so 0 flag is set. So you can see 0 flag is set. Okay, so it's a positive number, so it will jump to this loop here. Okay, so which means 0 0 will be moving to R3. R3 is anyway 0, fine, and then it will branch to the stopping. So execution is ended. Fine. Understood, students? Can we move on to the next program? Yeah, can we move on to the next program? Okay. So this was about your positive and negative. Okay. Now let us check odd and even. Okay, 0 errors. Fine. Now, how does this work, right? Odd and even. As I mentioned previously, we are looking at the first, the LSB bit. So there we were looking at MSB bit, the B31, and here we are looking at B0, right? So if if Z is equal to 1, okay, if Z is equal to 1, which means it is an even number. Okay, if it is 0. So if Z is equal to 0, which means it is not throwing a value, okay, but then a value is there, it is not 0, okay, then we can say that the number is odd, right? So the same concept here, it is altering the values of 0 flag, okay, and if it is even, then I'm going to move 0 0 to R3, and if it's odd, then I'm going to move FF to R3, okay. So yeah, we will get into the execution. So we are loading the value example 7, right? And 7 is actually getting into R0 here. You can see that. And let us look into these registers also, right? Now 7, the next it is going to check with branch if equal, okay? Is the number even or odd? Okay, so we all know that 7 is actually an odd number, right? So 0 flag, there is no change, and it moves to the loop, which is num is odd, and FF should be transferred to R3. So this value should be updated now. FF is moved to R3, right? Now let us give another number and check. Let's probably give 8. Build it into debug. So 8 is moved here, okay, to R0, and test is happening. So you can see that, the 0 flag has gone high. Why has it gone high? Because it is 1 0 0 0, right? So that is again now ANDed with 1 at the LSB, right? So 1 into 0 is 0. So 0 flag goes high. Okay, so it comes to num is even. So 0 0 will be moved to R3, right? So R3 was anyway 0. Then it branches to stop. Understood, students? Any doubts here? Please ask. So for positive and negative, we are looking at the LSB bit. For sorry, for odd and even, we're looking at just like 1 3 5 7. How do I know? I just look at the LSB bit, right? And if I want to know if it's a positive or negative, then I will look at the the most significant bit. That is, if all are ones, okay, then it is going to be a negative number, and if the MSB is 0, then it's a positive number. Any doubts up till this point, students? Is it clear? Can I have some responses? Can I proceed to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will look at zeros and ones here. Okay. Let's just check for errors. Yeah, no errors. Fine. Okay. So we are doing an initial declaration here, okay, and I'm giving the value 8f. Now, as I showed you previously, 8f, right? 1 0 0 0, and f is 1 1 1 1, right? And rest of the bits are all 0 from till b31, bit 31, it's all zeros, right? Okay, so once I'm giving zeros, I'm giving as 0. So I'm setting the values, right? I'm resetting the values. So here you should understand ones will occupy a specific address, zeros also will occupy a specific address, okay, and data 1 also will occupy a specific address. So I am not actually telling R0 you take this address. No, I am just telling whichever is data, whichever address is pointed by data, you can allocate that to R0. Okay, and here we are trying to do an XOR operation between R5 and R6 because R5 and R6 are playing a major role in checking the number of ones and zeros. So I will try to, if you XOR within itself, okay, then it is going to reset the values. Okay, so now I'm moving 32, okay, to R1 so that I will know that it's a 32-bit, B0 to B31. So that the count can go on. So every bit the shifting happens and it is going to check with each bit. The same operation that we are going to do here, TSTR3, okay, comma hash 01. So what am I trying to do here? I'm going to test instruction R3, whatever is the value in R3, okay, whatever data that I have given. Now 8f is the data that I have given, right? So this data is present here, okay, and the contents of that is going into R3. So which means 8f I'm moving to R3. Now this 8f is compared using test instruction, so which means 0 flags and all these flags will be altered, and I am just checking the LSB bit. Why am I doing this LSB bit? So that to see if my 0 flag is going high or not. So if the 0 flag doesn't go high, which means there is a data, so I will get to know that there is a 1 there. If 0 flag goes high, which means the data is 0, right? So I will increase zeros. Okay, so accordingly the branch is taken. If a branch is equal, then I will increment zeros. When I say equal, which means Z is going high. If Z is going high, it means that it is throwing me a 0 value. Okay, so I will increment zeros. So it will branch to the loop which is named as increment 0 and it will come here. So R5 will increase. So R5 will give me number of zeros and R6 will give me the number of ones, right? So suppose it is not equal, okay, suppose it is not equal, then I'm going to add R6 with 1 because R6 is keeping a track of number of ones. Okay, so yeah, so this is done. And next, again, what I have to do here is I'm going to subtract R1 with 1 so that I will know that out of 32, okay, the next I'm going to subtract, so it becomes 31. So I still have about 31 bits to check. So the shifting operation happens. So if you can recall the diagram which I showed in the earlier part of my explanation, right, the shifting happens. So every time the shifting happens, right, it is going to check. So you can see here there's a logical shift right. So R3 is actually moved with logical shift right. So each time it moves, and then I'm going to subtract. So that will reduce my count of number of bits to be checked. Okay, so I'm going to compare R1 to 0. Why am I comparing? So that I will know if this checking is over or not. Okay, and then if it's not equal, if the branch is not equal, which means if the number is not finished for comparison, then again it will go to the loop called top. So it will come again, testing, it will check 0 flag, either it will increment 0, okay, or it will increment once here. Okay, it will increment once. So the same thing happens here, and finally the location, the address which is saved by zeros, okay, that will be given to R naught, and the value, okay, the contents of R6, okay, will actually go to R naught. Okay, so whatever you have stored in R6, you're storing the value of R6 in R naught's address. Now remember, whenever there is a square bracket, it means that the contents are manipulated, the contents are changed, not the address. Okay, and similarly, ones are given to R naught, right? So what I do is the address is given here. So R5 is holding a value here, as I mentioned previously, right? So these values will be moved on to R naught. So basically in R naught's location, you will be able to see the number of ones and zeros. Okay, right. So let us now get into the execution part, and you'll be able to understand. Now 8F, now if I have to see 8F, as I mentioned previously, it is 1 0 0 0 and then 1 1 1 1. Okay, and rest all are zeros, right? So we should be able to count the number of zeros and the number of ones. Okay, so let me just show you that diagram again, right? So here you can see we are having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24. So 24 zeros are here, 25 26 27. So 27 zeros I should get. And how many ones? 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 ones and 23 zeros. So these values we will just check and see if we are getting the proper ones. So now that we have understood how the program works, okay, so we will get into the execution and we will check as to how it is done. So we have pre-calculated, right? We have to get about 27 zeros and about how many? 4 5, yeah, 5 ones. Okay, so we will just check and see if that is happening. Okay, fine. So 32 moves into R1. Okay, so that is 20 actually, 20 in hex. You can just do a conversion and check. Okay, and TST, of course this will go on and on. Okay, because it has to check about 32 bits, so the loop will go on and on. Okay, so let me just run and stop it. Yeah, so R5, R5 is actually giving me 1B. Can someone tell me what is this 1B? So convert this hex value to decimal and tell me what is 1B. You can use your calculators. Yeah, what is this 1B?
$27, sir.
Yeah, so that is giving us the number of zeros, and of course we have 5 here, which is telling us the number of ones, which is R6. So you can see here, you can give this location of R0, right? I have given the location of R0 here, and you can see it is 1B and 5. So 1B is 27 and 5 is the number of ones, right? So in this way you can try and give some different data. Okay, not only just this 8F, right? You can give some other data and you can check if the number of ones and zeros are equal or not. Okay, so basically you should understand this TST operation is playing a very important role. Okay, not only in checking the positive and negative values, but then it is actually doing a logical AND operation. Okay, logical AND operation. So let me just tell you one more point. Of course I have mentioned, but let me just re-emphasize on it. Okay, as mentioned previously, no data is saved, or the register contents are not changed, right? So you can see here R1 is 32, R5 is 0, that is number of ones, and R6 is 0, and R3 I'm giving the value as 8F, right? 8F is given. Then here TST is given 0 1. So this is how it's going to be 0 1. All these bits will be 0, and only the LSB will go high when I say TST. So this will go high, and logical 1 will happen. Now this ANDing operation happens. So 1 into 1, it is actually 1. So which means, will the 0 flag set, will Z be equal to 0, or will it be equal to 1? Based on that, based on that, it is going to check, or it will know if it is a 1 or 0. Then again, this will be shifted to one step. So it has been shifted to one step. Then again, this TST1 operation happens, and then it will check if it's a 1 or 0. So it will keep shifting. Okay, basically it will keep shifting, and this logical 1 operation keeps happening. So ultimately, with TST, we are able to find out how many ones and zeros. We are able to find out if it's a odd number or even number, and we are able to find out if it's a positive number or a negative number based on its value of MSB. Okay, so just practice these 3 programs. Try to change the numbers, try to change positives and negatives, manually calculate, do a 2's complement and check the values. Okay, are you getting FF, F5, right? So all this you can do, and you can verify if the same values you're obtaining even in your software. Okay.